history buffs. Ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
Freedom of future.
A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls.
To the encampment for freedom of future.
For liberty. This is what American patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty.
The hour our liberty is at hand. For freedom is robbed by. Secure our liberty. My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
Welcome to my colonial home. Today, Del Payne's work captures the spirit of we fight for independence. And our freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Hour is late. We must enact. To the encampment for liberty. Soldiers, the enemy is near. Front line, framing.
This is the thing when like JD Vance goes on Rogan and goes, well, you know, they have this whole discussion about the Epstein docs, and JD is like, I'll go to my death believing it was a larger conspiracy. You know, it's kind of like these guys are like, well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's like, no, you're the vice president. What are you talking about? JD Vance is talking about this like he's a guy at a bar in the town I grew up in on Long Island, where he'd be like, I'll always believe it was a conspiracy. You sure? That guy owns a pool company. He's gonna be like, yeah. What are you gonna do? I'll always believe someone on there. This guy's the vice president of the United States of America, going on the biggest podcast in the world, going, yep, I read all the files. Trump's innocent. Also, I'll always believe there was a greater conspiracy there. I'll always think something was going on. But what am I going to do? I'm the vice president. That's J.D. Vance's character arc right now. Is his whole entire thing is just telling people what the vice president can't do. Like, what about the war in Iran? He goes, you know, there's not much I can do. I just kind of hang out and, you know, watch as I'm part of the administration that betrays its voters and does the opposite of everything it said it was going to do. I just kind of hang out and, you know, this Epstein thing, who knows? You know, what are you going to do? It's a lot of what are you going to do energy from the vice president. I'm not saying the vice president's like an all-powerful figure, but it's just hilarious that, like, that's his argument. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah, these Epstein docs, you know. Isn't that nuts, Joe? You heard about that? What? You're the vice president of the United States. They keep trying to play this game where they're like this folksy, kind of like relatable, like, yeah, these fucking elites with they're fucking the kids. They're stealing your money. What? Who? You're doing it. You're the ones who are doing it. And they're relying on the fact that some of their most ardent supporters, the ones who aren't directly being paid off, are the stupidest people in the world. So that still works on them. They're like, yeah, fucking Hillary.
Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, July 20th, It's 6:20 a.m. Your girl had some technical difficulties. I will be doing this every Monday. Kicking us off, this is the weekend recap at the new party hosted by your girl, Nora Christine. JD Vance welcomed his new baby, okay? That is the top headlining story. This is the first sitting vice president in 150 years to welcome a new baby. Him and Usha Vance welcomed baby number 4, Alec. They have 3 other children. JD Vance promotes big families, so he's definitely pushing it. Yes, I love Tim Dillon May, and I do play him a lot. If you guys check out our show, we live stream every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. I host Tuesday nights. Gray hosts Monday and Wednesday, and Kimberly is now starting to do Thursdays. I'll be stepping in as needed, but sharing the baton, passing the baton to Kimberly while I do my Monday morning shows. And I may start Fridays again. We'll see. Because I like the weekend recap, weekday recap, where we go over the top stories of the week. JD Vance, first sitting vice president in 150 years to have a baby, guys. The last president to have a child born in office was Grover Cleveland, okay, whose daughter Esther was born. So he was making her the only child of a sitting president born. So we don't even see presidents having babies, and we probably never will, because for some reason we keep voting in these old crocs. And this is where we're at. JD Vance might be the next young vice president, our president, we'll see, because he's vying for presidency. And he did an interview on Joe Rogan. You guys should check out our Wednesday night show. I think we're talking about that more. But I mean, pretty much on the interview, it was interesting because he blamed everybody but him and his administration. You guys are in control. Tim Dillon is right. And Tim Dillon is not a liberal or like a left-leaning person. He's very independent, more right-leaning of anything. So to get this criticism is a lot. Tim Dillon advocated for Trump at one point, just like I advocated for Trump at one point. But now I think it's fair to say that a lot of people are jumping ship because this presidency has been a disaster. I will say I don't think it's quite as bad as Biden, but unfortunately, I do believe we are approaching this, okay? We are approaching pretty bad. We have more deaths over the weekend out of Iran. I'll be talking about that next. So definitely it's interesting. People are jumping ship. People are switching gears. Unfortunately, it's not going good for the Trump administration. Like I stated, this war in Iran is ramping back up and it's not going well. We had more deaths over the weekend. But before we get to that, that's my final headlining story. If you guys are watching, please hit the like button. Over the weekend, Spain won the World Cup, guys. Spain won the World Cup. Let me play this clip. President Trump presented the win to Spain. Spain defeated Argentina in double overtime. They went against Argentina. They were 0-0 up until the last few minutes when Spain won the scoring goal. Here we go. I'm going to mute this and just let it be on the screen. Many people are critical of Argentina. Many people were glad that Spain won because Argentina is a big friend and supporter of Israel. Spain actually has been a friend to Palestine. They're one of the first countries to recognize Palestine. So I think it's interesting that this, World Cup, we're also seeing politics being played out in it and what's going on in the world. I know. And then all that trash. And that was the irony of it too, Meta, because all that trash, Trump said some terrible things about Spain. One second. I don't want to misspeak about what Trump said about Spain. So I think the irony of it all is that he had to present this award. Also, the controversy with the World Cup, some people say Trump tried to rig the World Cup, because when U.S. top player got kicked out, he called the FIFA World Cup organizers and he asked for that player to be put back in. Because when you with soccer, when you get red cards after so many, you get kicked out the game and you can't play the next game. So he fought to get that player back in the game, but they still lost terribly. So Trump called Spain a terrible partner because the Spanish government declined to meet NATO's new defense spending target of 5%. He threatened trade consequences. He said, you need to pay it back to us on trade if it continues to spend less on defense with other NATO allies. During the NATO summit, Trump reportedly described Spain as a wasted cause and criticized Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's policies. This disagreement also involves Spain's refusal to allow U.S. use of certain military bases as it's relating to Iran. So Spain was like, we don't want to be involved. We want nothing to do with this. Leave us out of this. So it's interesting that this happened and now Spain won. So go figure, Spain defeated them 0-1. When asked if there was tension with Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, Trump said there was no tensions between them and congratulated Spain on the victory. The two leaders reportedly had a cordial interaction during the events. So interesting to see. Spain has also recognized Palestine. They say that Palestine is a country and they've recognized them. So Spain has won. What do you guys think? Who were you guys going for? It was an interesting toss-up. I went to Universal Studios over the weekend here in Orlando, and a lot of people were pro-Argentina. I saw a lot of the blue and white. So yeah, also interesting. A lot of your Latin countries or Latin fans weren't supporting Argentina. They were supporting Spain. So that shows you a lot. Tell me you guys' thoughts. I would love to hear it. But we're going to move on, guys. The next headlining story of the day is the fact that the Tate brothers were arrested, guys. The Tate brothers were arrested in Miami over the weekend. Let me play this video of the arrest. Actually, this photo of the arrest. This is them. People were making fun of Andrew Tate, making fun of what he was wearing. They were like, this is a very zesty looking outfit. But this is what he was wearing when he was arrested. They were in Miami for the weekend to support a fight. And the United States Marshals arrested them so they could be deported back to, or I should say, taken back to UK because there is a warrant out for their arrest. I'm trying to find the clip. Here we go. This is them being arrested. Let me play this clip for you guys. So yeah, Tate brothers, let me talk over this while it's going, guys. Nothing really to see here other than them getting arrested. But on July 18th, over the weekend, Marshals Service after the United States Marshal Services after the UK requested their extradition, that's the term I was looking for, to face new criminal charges. These are the allegations, guys. 7 counts of rape against Andrew Tate, sex trafficking charges, assault charges, charges involving indecent images of a child, extreme pornographic offenses, and Tristan Tate has great charges, sexual assault charges, and sex trafficking charges. British authorities have requested their extradition. They are currently in federal custody while a U.S. court considers the extradition request. If a court approves extradition, the final decision typically involves the U.S. executive branch. So Trump might have to step in. What's interesting is they were there supporting a fight with many Trump allies. They were hanging out with a lot of Trump allies here in Miami. So it's interesting that they were arrested, guys. Many people are calling this a dog and pony show. Many people are upset. The key news angle is that a new UK extradition case, not a continuation of the Romanian case from 2022, guys. Let me be clear. This is a totally different case that they have been investigating in the UK, has nothing to do with the Romanian case. So a lot of people are not on their side. This is what Sneeko had to say. Sneeko was a former friend. If you guys recall, Andrew Tate made some really strong allegations against Sneeko, calling him an undercover homosexual, saying he had a crush on him. But I guess this is going to be Sneeko's get back. This is what Sneeko had to say, y'all. Make sure you guys
They're guilty.
Here we go.
allegedly. At the time, I did believe it. I believe that they were innocent, but you look into it more, and you look into what the lover boy method is, and you look into what that is. They literally said that they were recruiting women to pimp them out. They had a course talking about how you could become a pimp. Word for word, they just spell out exactly what the lover boy method is. They say, this is how you do it. If you want a girl to fall in love with you so that you could traffic her, buy my course and I'll teach you how. So first, you make her fall in love with you. You have sex with her. Then you program her. Then you take her passport. Then she's in love with you. Then you put her on OnlyFans. It's like, that's what the lover boy method is, word for word. That's what pimping is, allegedly. I don't know what I'm talking about, allegedly. To a T, that's exactly what pimping is, and they just did it online. And they did it in Europe with white women. Look at that, too. You know what's so funny is that the Tate started grifting the white supremacists, like the white incels, the skin worshippers. They literally got rich pimping out European white women because they were better for money. Like, they made more money. Do you think that they were pimping out Asian girls and black girls? No, they moved to Romania because the crimes, they thought they were going to get away with it. They said, Romania's the third world country. I can be a mob boss. I'm a mafia. I could bribe the police. I'm like the cartel of Romania. That's why they moved there. One. Two, for the women, because they know white women are the best clientele. So they make the best prostitutes for Indians jerking off. So these are two black men move to Eastern Europe, predominantly white country, to pimp out white women, destroying the birth rate. And then now the skin worshippers are like, yeah, he's one of me. Yeah. 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 You fall for anything. Like, you guys will, all you have to say is a couple things about deporting and then immediately you could just, retweet Tommy Robinson, you're good. Not only that, it's you're saying Me Too feminist movement. The Me Too movement, what was that, 2016? A lot of that was completely blown out of proportion. The reason that...
So, yeah, guys, this is Sneeko. He is definitely not a fan. He's saying he believes
this is as criminal as it gets.
It's crazy because a lot of people are defending the Tate brothers. A lot
This
of
is the
people
thing when, like, JD Vance goes on Rogan and goes...
A lot of people don't support what's going on with the Tate brothers. They're very, empathetic to them. A lot of people don't believe.
Let me clear up this news you're seeing on the timeline.
Andrew Tate released
the British state has accused me of a crime.
Here is breaking news.
They said 15 years ago I did something. Let me clear up this news you're seeing on the timeline. The British state has accused me of a crime. They said 15 years ago I did something I wasn't supposed to do and I'm a criminal. But they won't tell me who against. They won't tell me where it happened. They won't tell me when it happened. They just said 15 years ago you did a crime. And I said, okay, against who? We're not telling you in case you tweet it. Why would I tweet it? What are you talking about? Tell me who I committed this crime against so I can defend myself. No, we're not going to let you defend yourself. You're accused of a crime. You're charged with a crime. We won't tell you who against. And I said, well, then how do I put a defense together? And they said, well, if you come to England, we'll tell you. I said, sure, I'll come to England. No problem. All I want to know is, can you guarantee I will not be remanded in custody? They said, no. We're not going to guarantee you that. If you come to England, there's a strong chance you're going to go to Belmarsh, remanded in custody for years, pre-trial. And I'm like, so you are accusing me of a crime. You've issued a warrant. You won't tell me who the crime was committed against, if they even exist, because they don't. These are made-up victims, completely made up. They have people hiding behind anonymity and just attacking me, demanding millions of euros, millions of dollars for things that happened in 2009. Nobody's telling me what these things are. Nobody's telling me who these people are. Nobody's telling me when they happened, where they happened, nothing. And they're saying if I go to jail, they'll tell me, but I have to fly to England and put myself in jail. And I know you're wondering, how come when Britain, as it collapses and doesn't give a fuck about grooming gangs, doesn't give a fuck about the stabbings, doesn't care about the drugs on the street, doesn't care about any of the real crime, how come they keep talking about Andrew Tate? That's because I highlight the problems with the country. They don't want to fix the problems. They want to get rid of me for talking about the problems.
What's interesting to me, guys, I don't know I don't know if he's guilty. I don't know if he's not. But what's interesting to me is that one person from the Epstein files have been arrested, and yet they focused all of their
Let me
efforts
clear
to
up
arrest
this.
guy. I don't know what to believe. I don't know.
And I'm very close to the Trump family. I know them well, and I spoke to Barron after the incident, and I look forward. And I'm very close to the Trump family. I know them well, and I spoke to Barron after the incident, and I look forward to, once I am free, being with Donald Trump in person and reminding him that he's a bulletproof badass.
This is the attorney for President Trump, somebody who has been a fighter for the America First Party. Her name is Alina Habba, and she joins us live right now.
Hi.
Hello, Alina.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Well, no,
Yeah, so I'll say this. Do I think this guy's completely innocent? No. Let me be clear. I'm not convinced that this is like the Matrix and all this bullshit that he likes to say. I'm not convinced of that. But what I will say is that he has influence over these young guys. And I believe the government knows this. And I believe they want to silence him because he says a lot of things that support masculinity in young men. And I don't think they want that. I think they want total submission and control of young men. However, I don't think this guy is completely innocent. This is when he was on Candace Owens.
I'm right here in Miami. I'm right here in Miami. Come get me, arrest me, perp walk me, put me on the news. Tell everyone I'm a human trafficker. You think I'm not versed? You think I'm not ready? I'm a Navy SEAL in this shit. Come get me, raid my house, take my stuff. You think I sleep with a whole phone full of evidence? You think I don't wipe my phone every night? You think I'm dumb? Come get me, arrest me.
Breaking, Andrew and Tristan Tate have been arrested in Miami.
So yeah, there are also a lot of clips of him saying a lot of crazy things and doing crazy things like this. I'm going to play it now.
Tell me you love me. Say it like you mean it. Say it like you mean it. You message one other guy ever again, whether we're together or not again. You understand me? You understand me? Say it then. Say I understand. Say it like you believe me. Say it again. Say I understand. Everyone, how pretty you are.
I mean, it's hard to defend this guy when there's stuff like this out here. Do I think he may no longer do those things? Yes. Do I think he wants to do it? Yes.
What does it say? Why does it say Tate?
Because I'm his whore.
You are my whore.
Yes.
There are clips of him doing these things. There are text messages with him admitting of the lover boy method.
Why's your ass got a bruise on it?
You know, this is not just being made up about him. Is this legal? If it is, then he's going to be arrested. If it's not, then he's right where he belongs. Do I think he should be influencing young men? Yes and no. I don't think he should be influencing young men when he was doing things like this. But I do believe we should make young men masculine. I don't think he should be masculinity away from men.
That's not what I said. Say
I mean, what he did here appears to be illegal.
I said, tell the camera, I beat you when you don't do as I say. I didn't say the word listen. Did I say the word listen? Did I say the word listen? Stupid bitch. I didn't say the word listen. Did I say listen? Did I say listen? No. Look at the camera.
Anyways, I can't watch any more of this, guys. This is pretty hard to watch. This is disgusting things. I just wanted to show you. This is clips from 2012. I'm not defending him. I'm not defending this behavior. I'm defending, was this acting? Was that real or was that fake? If that was part of a sketch, then yes. But people are saying that this is a distraction.
A couple weeks ago, Tulsi.
There's a lot going
Hello,
on
everybody.
in the world.
This is Joshua Doherty, aka Joshua.
With Iran, there's things that they're trying to distract us from. This could be a distraction. That's all I'm saying. But we're going to move on, guys. We're going to move on to our main story of the morning, which is Iran. This is something that affects all of us. We have had our 9th consecutive day of strikes against Iranian military, including missile facilities and command infrastructure. Iran has responded with missile and drone attacks, attacking our U.S. and allied facilities in Jordan, Kuwait, Bahrain, and Syria. Fighting has expanded around the Strait of Hormuz, where Iran reported explosions that disabled 2 oil tankers. Shipping through the strait has slowed significantly, and oil prices have now climbed over $90 a barrel by like, this is the stuff I'm talking about. Leave. Bye-bye. I'm not ashamed. Again, I stand by what I said. Bye-bye. So, according to our latest official reports, 17 U.S. service members have been killed since the war began, guys. We have now gone up to 17, and I've been critical of this because if you look at the deaths of our soldiers in 2024 and 2025, we only had like 1 or 2 each year. Some years we had none. I think we've had more deaths this year alone than the last 5 years combined. Okay, you guys can look that up. I'm not making this up. So it's only getting worse. And then they say over 420 of our personnel have been wounded. Some have been critically wounded with significant injuries. 2 U.S. service members were killed on an Iranian missile and drone attack on the Mufaq Salti Air Base in Jordan. 1 additional U.S. service member was killed in northern Iraq. Another service member was initially reported missing, with identified remains later recovered at the Jordan attack sites while identification efforts continued. So whoever was killed, rest in peace. They were so unrecognizable that they don't know who it is yet. This is a warning that came out over the weekend. Let's watch. Make sure you guys hit the like button.
Doherty, aka Joshua Lloyd Fox. Something happened today I've seen less than a handful of times in 30 years working for the Department of Defense. The State Department issued a worldwide red notice to all U.S. citizens around the world to come home, basically because of the growing tensions between the United States and Iran. Yesterday, President Trump ordered CENTCOM to open the gates of hell against Iran for the loss of 2 U.S. service members in missile strikes in Jordan. And this map is being circulated in Israeli media right now. The first time I saw it was about 3 days ago. Ben Shapiro posted it, which I don't really believe anything out of him, but this is circulating right now showing a massive ground invasion of Iran where the United States' responsibility is along that southern coastline of the Persian Gulf or the Gulf of Oman. And that's exactly where we have been pounding for about 2 weeks now. We've been pounding artillery shells in that area. I want you all to remember, I reported back in April and May that the 31st MEU, the 111th MEU, the 81st Airborne are all in theater. There's roughly 50,000 U.S. service members in the Middle East, most of them dedicated to ground invasion assaults. Marine Expeditionary Units, there's 2 of them over there, 5,000 Marines whose sole purpose is ground invasion, have been over there for 3 months training and getting ready for something. So apparently we're opening up the gates of hell, and the State Department issued a worldwide red notice today to all U.S. citizens around the world. I've only seen that like 5 times in 30 years of working for the DoD. That was issued just a few minutes ago. Stay tuned. I know U.S. media is not reporting on any of this. And so.
Guys, so essentially, this is big what he's saying. What he's saying is they are putting notices because soldiers are going to be deployed. 1's in the chat if you think we will be deploying soldiers this month. 2's in the chat if you think it's all theater and all talk. Guys, this is big. I mean, over the past 9 days, U.S. forces have carried out repeated strikes against Iranian missile launch sites and underground storage facilities, air defense systems to reduce Iran's capability to intercept aircraft, Islamic's Revolutionary Guard Corps command and control centers, that's their IRGC, that's their military, radar and communications infrastructure, military logistics hubs around Tabriz, Bushehr, and southern coastal areas. Iran has broadened its retaliation by launching ballistic strikes against Jordan, Bahrain, and Kuwait, drone attacks on American positions in Iraq and Syria, attacks on shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. Do we have support around the world for this, guys? What is going to happen when we launch? Will we have support? I mean, Israel, our greatest ally, is pretty much stretched thin because they've had a full front assault on Gaza and now on Lebanon. Can we depend on them? I mean, can we really depend on them? If we don't have support around the world, who can we depend on? Well, Several close allies have backed efforts to defend the shipping lanes and protect regional security, including the UK, France, Germany, Italy, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan. However, many of the governments are distinguishing between defensive support, such as protecting shipping or helping defend the Gulf states, direct participation in offensive strikes, which some are reluctant to join. So, yeah, I named out all those names, but they don't want to jump in. They don't want to be involved. They don't want to be involved in this. They realize that this is
in the White,
especially if we have to send soldiers in.
He built Trump Towers.
CENTCOM says that there will be outsized action.
CENTCOM
says that there will be outsized action in retaliation. But I don't understand how it's possible that Iran has the capabilities to fight this way and continue to try to lash out at Gulf countries and U.S. military bases, because the U.S. has obliterated Iran's military, and the president continues to reiterate that.
Yes, and if you look at the numbers of missiles that they've been able to fire off from the beginning of this war, late February, early March, and what they're able to do now, it is very seriously degraded. They've gone from over 100.
CENTCOM says that there will be outsized action in retaliation, but I don't understand.
So yeah, they're telling people get out of Dodge.
CENTCOM
States conducted this operation with a very clear goal. States conducted this operation with a very clear goal in mind. I haven't got a chance to see a lot of reporting. I don't understand what the confusion is. Let me explain it to you, and I'll do it once again as clearly as possible. Perhaps you'll report it that way. The United States is conducting an operation to eliminate the threat of Iran's short-range ballistic missiles and the threat posed by their Navy, particularly to naval assets. That is what it is focused on doing right now, and it's doing quite successfully. I'll leave it to the Pentagon and the Department of War to discuss the tactics behind that and the progress that's being made. That is the clear objective of this mission. The second question that's been asked is, why now? Well, there's two reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the United States. The orders had been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it bared to be true, because in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. And then we would all be here answering questions about why we knew that and didn't act.
So guys, I think in that first video, let me clarify something. I think Pete, he said the wrong thing. The 82nd Airborne is who we should be watching. Let me clarify that, because when America needs troops somewhere fast, this is usually one of the first units put on alert. So we're watching for the 82nd Airborne movement. I'm hearing from a lot of military people that I'm friends with and friends of or family of that they're being told to be ready.
Trump uses the same words that Hitler.
Anytime they're being told that they can deploy. I don't think this is an if, I think it's a when. I do think we are going to send in troops. And I say that to say, because I believe we're going to need to get control of that strait. We're not, necessarily running out of military, out of oil, but we are running low on diesel. 20% of the world's oil supply goes through the Strait of Hormuz. That is a big, big percentage of our oil supply. It's not all of it, it's not most of it, but it still definitely affects things. And also, like President Trump said, I do believe that there is a lot of price gouging going on. I'm going to show you guys some images that came out over the weekend. This is from Kuwait. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button if you're watching. Please support the live. I appreciate you so much.
محول الكهرباء يا لطيف محول الكهرباء اللي بسيط حريق.
So that image that you're seeing is explosion took place as fires continue. The Subia power plant And guys, let me tell you another fear that's going on that the media is not telling you about. If Iran successfully strikes like a water plant in Kuwait or Dubai or one of those places, they are cooked, okay? Because they need those desalination plants so they can survive. If they hit one of their water plants, they're done. They're done. I don't even know how people will live. I think they may have a week to live. You can't live without water. And that's the fear of why the pressure is on us to actively do something. This is what Trump had to say over the weekend about the strikes. Let's watch.
Well, we feel very badly, but those great people, those great patriots were out there fighting that Iran did not have a nuclear weapon. Iran has been very, very badly damaged. They've lost everything almost militarily. They've got very little left. They've got some missiles. They've got some drones. They've got some manufacturing ability, not much. We control the Strait. They don't control anything. So we'll see what happens. But we hit very hard again tonight. And we did that in honor of the probably three as opposed to two great patriots.
This is my thing. President Trump and the Trump administration has been saying, we destroyed this, we destroyed that, but they still are hitting us. What did you really destroy? And I think that's where people are getting frustrated. You guys told us 6 months ago, this should be over by the summer. Well, we're going into the summer now. We're going, this is an American base that you're seeing. We're going into this. We keep hearing that they're striking all these places, but at the same time, we're not seeing that they're being weakened. They're still hitting us really hard. They're still killing our people. This is what a former CIA officer had to say.
They have the ability to defend the nest, and they have the ability to defend themselves against conventional missiles. There's no clear defense against a hypersonic missile. The Iranians have them. They've purchased them from the Chinese. They've also purchased them from the Russians. Well, we're not sure that we can defend against an Iranian supersonic missile. We've all studied the Gulf of Tonkin. We've all studied 9/11. We've all studied Pearl Harbor. If the Iranians actually do sink an aircraft carrier, you're right. It's World War III. Because the Israelis are going to jump in immediately. The Israelis are itching to use nuclear weapons, especially against Iran. They have the ability to defend.
It's not going good, guys. I'm trying to be optimistic here. It's not going good. This is the cluster bombs that we saw over the weekend. This is our bases. Let's watch the images coming out.
They're everywhere! They're sweeping the whole thing!
Imagine how scared those soldiers must be. This is Iran shooting down one of our U.S. Lucas drones. So they're getting their lickbacks on us, guys. The media is not going to show you these images. This is an attack carried out by Iranian forces near Jebel Airport in southeastern UAE. Iranian forces reportedly sank an American ship. So this is us. This is them sinking our ships. What are we going to do to defend our soldiers? I am not for us putting our troops in harm's way, but at this point, we are so in deep. I don't know how we walk away from this. We have interests, we have businesses, we have soldiers, we have our allies there. We can't lose these relationships. So I don't know the answer. I mean, the answer to some is, oh, well, we just need to bring them home. But you can't take so many beatings and walk away, because it's going to make us look weak, guys. It's going to make us weak to China. It's going to make us look weak to Russia. I don't necessarily agree with sending troops on the ground in Meta, but I don't think we can just walk away now. I think we're in too deep. We're in too deep. If we walk away, we will look so freaking weak, bro. Like, we cannot walk away. That's the thing. And again, I've been one of the
clusterfuck that is the Iran war is now escalated to a place where nobody wanted to see it go. When Trump began hitting civilian infrastructure,
he says a lot of good things, and he brings up a good point. We look so weak. Really? So they are not getting their lickbacks. Iran has admitted defeat. This is BS propaganda. Iran admitted defeat. Iran said, come on, bring it on. They have not, I don't know where you're getting that from. They haven't admitted defeat of anything. Here we go.
Clusterfuck that is the Iran war has now escalated to a place where nobody wanted to see it go. When Trump began hitting civilian infrastructure within Iran, he blasted some bridges and power plants. Iran responded in kind as they promised they would, hit the bridge between Saudi Arabia and Bahrain, blasted the fuck out of Bahrain, blew up a desalination plant and some power plants in Kuwait. Then they blasted the fuck out of Qatar. Then they went and blasted the fuck out of the Kurds in northern Iraq because the CIA and Mossad have been arming up the Kurds for some fucking cockamamie invasion plan. They think the Kurds are going to invade Iran and cause some problem. It didn't work in Iraq. I don't know why the fuck they think it would work in Iran. Probably because they're fucking desperate. Trump has now abandoned all of his original objectives in the Iran war. There's going to be no regime change. There's going to be no destruction of their ballistic missile program. And there will be no getting their nuclear dust either. Now he is just fighting for control of the Straits. Something else he can never achieve because geography, people, geography. Iran is controlling the Straits not only with mines, drones, ballistic missiles. 2 tankers did hit Iranian mines today in the Straits. Iran could control the Straits with a dude on a donkey, a radio, and an RPG. All they have to be able to do is shoot down at a ship within the Straits. And there's nothing that is going to prevent them from being able to do that. Iran owns the Straits. It is geography. This is just a definite thing. But Trump just can't understand that shit because he is not done with his humiliation ritual for the motherfuckers in tiny hats. That's the other weird thing. Iran has not struck Israel. And Israel's fucking terrified. They even denied the U.S. use of Ben Gurion Airport and other airfields within.
All right, I'll mute him because I can tell y'all not really a fan of his. But long story short, he does say some interesting things, some things I don't agree with. One's in the chat if you think we're sending in troops. 2s if you don't think we are. Meta brings up a good point. Hope this doesn't start a nuclear apocalypse. I mean, the reality is this. Iran put something in the ceasefire that we cannot guarantee. The biggest thing we could not guarantee was that Israel was going to get out of Lebanon. That was where this ceasefire went wrong. I truly believe Trump wanted a ceasefire. I can't speak for y'all. I can only speak for me. I truly believe he wanted a ceasefire. However, you know, that's not going to. We're not going to have peace with Israel involved. Israel is not getting out of Lebanon anytime soon. And Iran knew that. I don't think Iran wanted a deal, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. The reason why I say that is they know we can't tell another country what to do. We can't make Israel get out of Lebanon. We could try. We could say we're going to hold off on our money that we're sending over there. But we all know that's not going to happen because our politicians on both sides are being controlled and told what to do by lobbying. And that's not going to happen, guys. That's not going to happen. I'm going to be honest with you. So that being said, Iran didn't want a deal. It was a very fair deal. They were going to get to keep their nukes. We were going to only monitor them. They were going to also get to charge a fee to the Strait, something that I don't think they were doing before. So I don't know like what better deal they could have gotten from us. The deal was so good that the politicians that are being controlled by the Israel lobby said it was a shit deal. So, you know, it was a good deal for Iran. It was a fair deal. And then the propaganda was being pushed for Trump not to do the deal. So here we are, guys. I mean, honestly, this is where we're at. I don't think we're going to ever see peace in the Middle East. I don't think that we're going to see the end to this war. I predict we are going to have troops on the ground, unfortunately, to try to take over Karg Island or the Strait of Hormuz. I believe that's where it's going to go first. But those Iranian mountains are nothing to play with, okay? I don't know how many more beatings we can get and keep getting hit. And they keep getting the drones back up because China's sending them drones. China's helping them, clearly. We keep saying China's our enemy, but we can't even take on Iran, and China's way stronger than Iran. So my conclusion to today's show is pray for our troops in the Middle East. You know, the Andrew Tate being arrested, I believe, was a distraction. because what's about to go down in the Middle East. Congratulations to Spain for winning, and congratulations to JD Vance for having his new baby. If you guys are watching, we will be back tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe we're going to be talking about the Canadian forest fires. God, for anybody being affected by those forest fires, please wear a mask. Please, if you have asthma, make sure you bring your inhaler places. I heard standing outside in New York and places like that is like the equivalent to smoking 10 cigarettes that day. It's that bad. The air quality is that bad. I personally think we should sue Canada because they didn't, clear their shrubbery, which in turn caused these fires. But come back tonight. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back next Monday morning at 6 a.m. So if you guys like this, make sure you guys give us a follow, give us a subscription. All I ask is that you hit the like button as well and give us a follow if you're not already following. And make sure you guys have that notification bell turned on. God bless, good morning, and have a great, safe day.
Sisters,
we shall not yield to tyranny.
Our cause just, we will prevail. The fight
Hello,
for our
Mr.
rights.
Buffs. Ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
Bobby, at this
Hello,
point,
history.
shame on you. Shame on you. Because we are being played as the American people. Our money is funding a war that we don't need to be in. I shouldn't be okay with it. So as long as I have breath in my body and a mic to use, I will be speaking out against this.
A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls.
The economy, we have a global economy. That's why we're a number one economy in the world. I know that a lot of people want to paint the horrible view of America, but, go live somewhere else and then tell me America's bad.
Patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty.
This is so freaking crazy to me that we have an conflict with Iran before a single person from the Epstein files has been arrested on American soil.
The hour our liberty is at hand. For freedom is brava. Brothers and
I was
sisters.
working, man, but it's good to see Rippy out there handling business, man. And again, hey, there's a lot of black Trump supporters, man. I mean, it feels good to see that, man. So
My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
A real coach. People are getting sick of it. The moment a celebrity steps slightly outside the leftist approved narrative, they get attacked. Chili from TLC gets heat over allegedly donating to Donald Trump.
For liberty. The British advance. We must act.
Our supplies are low, but morale is high.
Then we fight for liberty.
Pain to War captures the spirit of we fight for independence.
With
Welcome to my
that said they were anti-war. I think they said no new wars. Yeah, they voted for a president that was not going to start any new wars. And what's funny to me is that not only were you lied to, not only did this man start this and get out of the
freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Just in order to get the Greater Israel Project accomplished, you have to kill people. That's why it's wrong. Killing people is wrong. Full stop. So you can try to make sense of it with, well, it's a threat and this and that. There's no greater threat than the United States empire.
Vocabulary up because I'm throwing out words like hubris, acquiesce, verbose. What are you going to do about the dichotomy of the nuance?
To the encampment for liberty.
And what I've learned, and I'm not a liberal or a Democrat. I voted for Trump the first time, but he's become a politician. He lies like all the other politicians. He deceives like all the other politicians.
And flaming! Soldiers, the enemy is near.
Not only do I love my FBA fam, my Black American fam, my Black people on code, my people that's allies with us, as part of the fam. I love y'all. I love my country too. You feel me?
The cause to victory.
To victory. These pastries are wonderful.
Indeed, but we must stay vigilant.